Hey everyone. Karibuni, karibuni. It's a pleasure to have you. Yeah, we are going to have our session in a short while. Yeah, karibuni. Karibuni, 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 Stano. I see you, Beth Collins. I see you, Candy. And Ice Smart, karibuni. Yeah, we are waiting for our speaker today. Yeah, karibu Zippy, I see you. Yeah. Karibuni. I'm trying to join in Zippy. Yeah. Today we are going to be having a session called Prison Break. Today we talk about drug and drug addiction. So yes, our guest speaker today is going to be Zippy. She's a counseling psychologist. So yeah, I'm just trying to check out where she is and try to join her in. Yeah. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Yeah. Karibuni. As I said, today we are going to have a session on drug and drug addiction. Our speaker today is going to be Zippy. She's a counseling psychologist who has worked a lot with people who are addicted to drugs. Yeah, so karibuni. I see your question, Rezimalin. Somebody will surely answer it. Yeah. I see you, Karis. Karibu. Zippy, I can't see you. Well, Zippy, I can't see you for some reason. Please send me a request. Yeah, so as I said, today we are going to be having a topic on drug and drug addiction. Yeah, I think this topic is real. Drug and drug addiction is real in our society. We see it everywhere. You walk in the streets of Nairobi, you see somebody lying down, not because they are sleepy, but because probably they have overdosed on something. It's a real topic. It affects our families. It affects people that we know, our friends. And today we are going to be speaking with Zippy, who is a counseling psychologist. She's going to be helping us understand this whole topic. Yeah. Karibu Karis, karibu Chemu, I see you. Well, let me try and reach out to Zippy. Karibu Brilliant. If you have any question, please feel free to put it down. I saw one question already. It will be answered as we continue. Karibu Cynthia Jerotich. Yeah. Zippy is joining us shortly. Karibuni. If you have any friends that you would like to welcome, this is the time to welcome them. Hey, Zippy.
Hey, how are you?
How are you? I'm good. How are you?
Same, I'm good. I'm good. I bless God.
I'm also well. So yes, this is Zippy, as I said. Today we are going to talk about drug and drug addiction. Yeah, I think it's something that we have all experienced. We know people who have been affected by it, from relatives to friends, to classmates, probably colleagues, among many other people. So yeah, today we are going to talk to Zippy and just hear some of the things about drug and drug addiction. As I said, if you have any question, please feel free to write it down on the chat. We will answer. If you have a personal question, we'll put down a WhatsApp number that you can DM, or you can DM our Instagram handle. We will answer. Yeah, and if you want to welcome people, please feel free to welcome them. Yeah. So this is our second series. This is our second session about drug and drug addiction. The first one we did last week on Tuesday. If you would want to listen to it, go to IGTV. It's there. Yeah, it was a live experience about a person who has been addicted to drugs. Sawa? Zippy, can you hear me?
Sawa. Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. So please tell us a little about yourself, who you are, what you do. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, guys. Welcome. Keep on joining. Keep on inviting guys for this awesome conversation. I'm Zippy Oduor. ID is Zipporah Chepiwat Kosio. I find it quite a mouthful, so I just prefer Zippy Oduor. I'm married to Dan Oduor. I'm a mother of two, Zora and Dora. My background, I'm a counseling psychologist by profession. That's my bachelor's. And then I went on to specialize in addiction counseling. Something about addiction is you're either affected or infected. So that's one thing that I really loved about why I wanted to specialize in that, because there were a lot of HIV and AIDS guys. There were a lot of marriage and family people. I was like, this is an area that is a need, and I really needed to just get grounding on it. So looked for a school that offers that, and it's offered with SAPTA or NACADA. And yeah, so basically that's me. I've worked in rehabilitation centers. I've worked with the prisons, Community Maximum Prison, Boston, as just basically a volunteer. And till recently, I was working with Teen Challenge Kenya. For those who don't know Teen Challenge Kenya, it's just a rehabilitation center that's along Kiambu Road. It's Christian-based. And I think I'll talk more about it as we talk about recovery and how to get help. And yeah, so I think that's basically me in many words.
Yeah, that's a good introduction. Yes. So you're saying that when we talk about drugs and drug addiction, if you're not infected, you are affected. If you're not affected, you're infected. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's just basically you either know somebody who is affected with drug addiction, or you are personally either consuming or struggling with the same. Okay.
Wow.
It's either this or that. Okay. It doesn't mean that the fact that it doesn't mean that the fact that you're a pastor, you don't know somebody who is affected. You don't know family who's affected. We know of uncles, aunties. If your family is not affected, then neighbors are. You know the guy who whistles at night, screaming. The people who, it's with us. You can even touch it. You can even feel it. That's basically why I say you're either affected or infected yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. Yani, as we speak about this, my heart is heavy because I know many people, some even relatives, family, friends, yeah, who are really into drugs. And yeah, you pray, you try rehabilitation, you try anything you can. Yeah, but
Yeah.
sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So yes, I think it's something that we all need to speak about. It's something that we need to
True.
address because it's affecting our generation. Students in
Very true.
campus, it's fathers, yeah, leaving their children or not being responsible. It's your caretaker, where you live. It's anyone basically. I don't think it chooses between the rich and the poor. I don't think addiction
No, it
chooses
does not.
gender.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's something that we
Uh,
all need to speak about.
yes.
Yeah, so probably you can help us understand what is addiction.
Okay. I'll use an analogy to explain what addiction is. We all know the first world countries. We all know second developing countries, and us, you're known as the third world countries. A reality is there's a fourth world, and this is a world of addicts, a world of addictions where all worlds come in together. We have the rich, we have the poor, we have the middle class. All of them are in this world called addiction. And according to APA, I'll follow APA because now that APA is just an association of American Psychological Association. And they basically define addiction as a chronic relapsing brain disease. And you keep on abusing it despite the consequences. You're not irrespective of it, yeah? And as you continue, I'll explain, we'll get to understand why we reach a place where the drug is more or less controlling us than us having control over the drug itself. Okay. Today we'll basically lean more on drug addiction, but addiction is just not drugs and alcohol. Why do we say drugs and alcohol? There are places where alcohol is allowed. That's why we have to mention excessive use of alcohol. There are other places, alcohol ni kama tu Coca-Cola yetu, it's part of a meal. Yeah. But in other places like us, we don't look at it as part of a meal. Yeah. It is not, it's something that has been abused. Yes, it was in our culture. These are things we've grown with, we know of aunties who make the local one. In my community, it's known as something. Oh Lord, come on, anybody in my area, please help me. Changa, the Muratinas. Help me with the name in Kalenjin. I know Muratina in Kikuyu. Oh Lord, what a shame. And the good thing about what we're doing right now is just making you guys aware, so you'll be alert and you'll stay alive. Somebody who's in addiction, somebody who's testing it, So I always believe information is power, and there's no defense to ignorance. Yeah, ignorance is no defense. Okay, and one thing we need to realize: nobody was born an addict. No mother gave birth to an addict. Okay, though some of us are predisposed, are more likely to abuse than others. Yeah. And some of the things that sell us out, for lack of a better word, is, where we are coming from. Yeah. If changa was what raised us, is what mom made for us to, have food on our tables. If changa
Yeah.
is what mom, the one thing that I needed for me to survive, I'm more prone to being addicted, okay? There's a setting where you've been raised. Somebody who's been raised near a lot of alcohol, in a family where we have a winery, poverty-stricken areas like the slums, you're more likely to be predisposed. Unlike somebody who was in an area that was not as we're Kig. Thank you, Colin.
Yeah, I think somebody is helping you.
Oh Lord, thank you. Pole nimeangusha watu wa Rift Valley, but it is well. Thank you, Bet Collins. Thank you very well. Thank you very much. So as I was saying, nobody was being an addict. Yeah. Pardon?
You're telling us about things that predispose us to.
Yes. So our social setting also sells us out. So you can easily. Sorry for that. Oh no, sorry.
Okay.
So somebody raised in Kibera, where this is the norm. It's like part of a rite passage, is more predisposed to somebody who's, been raised in church and only knows God and the Bible, which is a little bit, you can, so somebody in such a setting will have to, put extra effort internally to avoid it. Okay. So to say, if I was raised in such a setting, I'll be more cautious in the steps I take, in the people I hang around with. When you're raised where being in a gang is the order of the day, you'll have to make such extra effort to be out of it. Okay. Also something else, especially with the teenagers, 10 to around 14, it's a stage known as independence and isolation. Is where somebody is trying to figure out who they are. Yeah. And they've not developed such a strong will or a strong sense of self, and can easily be influenced with anything. Also, personalities play a role. Some personalities are easily influenced, like sanguines. I'm a sanguine. We just like making people happy, peace on earth with all glory and all that. We are more predisposed, because we'll do anything to make, our peers, or we'll just make anything to feel more accepting, more popular. So, so some traits, it doesn't mean all sanguines are alcoholics or anything. I'm just saying some things will put you at more risk, okay? Or will predispose you. Yeah, will predispose you. So there's also genetics, I'll take you back to the word. You remember when Abraham's faithful deeds was blessed to even the fourth generation. Yeah? Sins, the same thing. Follow even to the fourth generation. My grandfather maybe was an alcoholic. Actually, he was, yeah? So this is something that you will actually see in your lineage. You'll see with your uncles, you'll see with your relatives, you'll see with your nephews, you'll see with your nieces, yeah? And there's all, in salvation, we can break it. We can break all these ties. We can, there's freedom in that. But it's one thing that will also make you more predisposed. There's that genetics. There's not a particular gene that was written, but, let's follow scripture. Blessings follow to the fourth generation. Curses follow to the fourth generation. Sins follow to the fourth generation. This is something that you're more predisposed to. Okay? So yes, if your family is maybe affected in the lives, I'd advise for deliverance, just personal deliverance, and just to unyoke yourself, or just cut the cord so that it can stop, and then for your future generations to be better. Yeah.
To be free. Okay, so you said that some of the things that predispose us is where we come from. So if alcohol and drugs are the order of the day, then that makes us more prone to getting into that habit. You also said for teenagers, age 10 to 14, they're still trying to identify who they are, and it's easy to influence them. You've also talked about personality and how our personality would lead us to drug and drug addiction and alcohol addiction. So I'll have to keep remembering to add alcohol. Yeah, and then you also said
Okay.
about genetics and family. There are some of the things that predispose us to alcohol, to drug and alcohol addiction. So probably you can tell us or help us understand what are the stages of addiction? Where does one start? Because you see, some people start
Yeah.
just as a social habit. My friends are doing it in school. Let me try out. Let me see how it goes. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Um, Addiction can start by basically experimenting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the consequence, the rewards you get from experimenting is what will define your road. If you had bad consequences, you didn't enjoy the high.
Sippy, we are losing you. Hi, Zippy. Hi, Zippy. Sorry, we are losing Zippy, but I think she'll be back shortly. Looks like she has network problems. So we're saying that today we are talking about understand what addiction is. Okay, looks like we lost her. I think it's network challenges, but I hope she will be joining us soon. Somebody can help us call her, but yeah. So yeah, today we are talking about drug and alcohol addiction. So our guest speaker today is Zippy. She's a counseling psychologist who is very passionate about helping people overcome addiction, not only drug and alcohol addiction, all other kinds of addiction. But today we are talking about drug and alcohol addiction. So yes, if you have any question, kindly feel free to put it on the chat. We'll be answering it as time goes by. Yeah. Zippy has joined us, and yeah, we're just loading. So yes, she said that some of the things that predispose us to. Sorry. She said that some of the things that predispose us to drug and alcohol addiction are our family history, probably where we have lived, if our parents have been involved with alcohol addiction. Okay. You're still trying to catch Zippy? Yeah. Hopefully she will join us shortly. Yeah. And there's also our age. If we are in the age of discovery, especially for the young guys, the teens who are trying to maneuver life, age 10 to 14, trying to discover, and so they are easily influenced. She also talked about personality. If you, especially she specifically mentioned the sanguines, and if you want to please people, yeah, it's easy to get addicted, yeah, as you try to please people. Yeah. So Moshiri, Stanley, you can help us put our WhatsApp number there. If you have any questions or any comments, kindly feel free to put them on our chat. Yeah. If you have any questions, feel free to put them on our chat. We're still trying to get Zippy. Msijali amepotea kidogo. I think it's network challenges, but I think she will be back. But the conversations can continue on the chat. Chemu or Stanley, you can help me put our WhatsApp contact so that if anyone has a question or comment, they can DM our WhatsApp. Zippy is back. Hi,
Oh,
Zippy.
for that. Oh, yes.
We lost you.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry for that.
Internet manenos.
I'm telling you, what?
It's okay. Pole, pole.
It is well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so we were at stages of abuse.
Yes, we were talking about stages.
Yeah. And it'll start like anything. You'll have to experiment for anything, yeah? You'll experiment on, a tot of whiskey, those small cigarette butts, maybe leftovers from somewhere, or you know around your people, they'll just give you maybe a glass to taste it. You'll experiment, and depending on what we call consequences, positive or negative consequences. Positive consequences being the feel good, what I felt
Mm-hmm.
about it, how I enjoyed it, how I didn't enjoy it. So positive is the feel good. What are the rewards I got? Hey, wendo hero, wendo say, what did I get about what kind of rewards did I get out of consuming it? Smoking
Mm-hmm.
weed, maybe I didn't. Sasa when you say
Mm-hmm.
negative,
So when you talk
yeah,
about consequences, it's both probably what your peers say and how your body feels.
yes, that's why we call them positive consequences. Leave alone English on this, yeah. Negative consequences would be how I experienced it. I didn't enjoy the high, I didn't enjoy the vulnerability. I didn't enjoy the blackout. You can't account for like almost half of the night. What happened? And some just stop from there because of the
Mm-hmm.
consequence. However, depending on the kind of response you felt and kind of rewards it gave you, you'll
Mm-hmm.
go to the social use where you'll just be using you'll be partying only with a reason. Maybe it's a
Mm-hmm.
birthday, with your friends, with your
Mm-hmm.
peers, but on very
Mm-hmm.
selected occasions, not as frequent. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes to instrumental.
Mm-hmm.
Instrumental is when you consume a drug. Let's say weed. Yeah? Weed is known
Mm-hmm.
to help focus on something, or just focus on one event. If it's laughing, you laugh like you've never laughed before. If it's swimming, it's eating, it focuses, it narrows your focus. Now I
Mm-hmm.
know I will consume alcohol to feel happy, to forget my problems, to just feel high, to just so I'm using the drug, that's it's called
Mm-hmm.
instrumental. I'm using to get the desired effect that I want. Okay. And then now
Mm-hmm.
from instrumental use, all this time you have control. Remember, experimental, you still have control over the drug. It doesn't control you. Social
Mm-hmm.
use, I use it in social gatherings. Instrumental use,
Mm-hmm.
I use it because of the desired effect that I want. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That goes to habitual use. You will not
Okay.
miss on these nights. You'll be looking forward for the days
Mm-hmm.
you will use, or for the opportunities that will arise for you to consume the drug of choice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Wednesday's night, you won't lack on Friday nights, it'll be party
Mm-hmm.
after party. Like you'll be looking for the opportunity to be there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then now here, you're losing control. Hi, Charlene. Welcome. Um, at this point, you're losing control slowly by slowly, because now you're looking forward for the next time I'm getting this high.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for the
Mm-hmm.
next time I'm getting this fix. Okay. And now it goes to a place where we call, not the last stage is compulsive use, not where you're a full-blown addict, where
Mm-hmm.
everything and anything, all the money you get, all the activities you get are centered around you consuming and using this particular drug of choice. Okay.
Wow.
If you're in unemployment, all your cash, all or most of it goes to the drug of choice. If you're a
Mm-hmm.
student, that cafe you have, I remember how John was saying it last time, that he would rather walk, at least that money he gets to consume his drug of
Uh-huh.
choice.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you need it for you to function. And how do we
Okay.
reach at this point? Because drugs,
Just a minute before you go
alter,
to how.
yes,
So you said
Yes,
from habitual we go to compulsive.
yes. Now,
Wow. So that's
full-blown addict.
wow. Okay. So that's a very short gap. It seems like the others give you a bit of time when you're experimenting, social use,
Not really.
instrumental.
It actually depends on the drug. Drugs like heroin is the street word is nionje nifuate milele. Like the
Wow.
first two power shots, you're fully addicted. Alcohol takes a longer time, okay? And
Okay.
depending on how much you consume it and what kind of alcohol you're consuming. For beers, it will take longer because of the percentage. Things like whiskeys, because the percentage of alcohol is quite higher. 40, we're talking about 40, 60%. Yeah, changa. Before for if we start together, you maybe on weed,
Mhm.
on beers, and I'm on whiskey. Me being
Mhm.
addicted is quite, yes, it's quite an easy transition instantly. And
Mm.
because now at this point you're enjoying the rewards, you're enjoying, you're enjoying the company. Have you ever gone to a bar that's boring? No. Like the transition is you won't notice. You will not notice moving from habitual to a compulsive use. So most of the time
Compulsive.
you'll debate with yourself. Me, I'm not addicted. Me niko tu sawa. Look,
Mm.
not agree that wamelemewa. Yeah. How many? Okay, I don't know if you've ever tried just waking up
Mhm.
somebody who's fallen on the roadside. No,
Mhm.
mwamshe mwambie, hey, kitu, unajua pombe si supu. Yeah. They'll be like, Miss Jalewa, mi niko sawa.
That's what they
I'm
say.
not
They even say, my cousins sometimes say, with this thing, if you want to stop, you can stop, but
on your own. I started it on my own and I can stop it on my own. When you reach compulsive, at some point habitual stage, you don't you cannot easily remove yourself. I believe in the
mm-hmm.
power of the Holy Spirit. There are people I know of who are prayed for, just like John who was prayed for, and Elisha, Taki Elisha, kiu ya pombe Elisha, and they are not as many. They're not as many.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody had the pombe si supu, my friend. There are people who had that experience. You get who had the
Mm-hmm.
constant, like the Pauline kind of experience where that with the flashlight, with on his way to Damascus, akwenda kuwa wase huyu msee alikuwa anachinja watu.
Alafu
But when
akatana
he had
around.
that encounter, he had a
Mm-hmm.
turnaround. Not everybody
Mm-hmm.
has that. Even if we talk
Mm-hmm.
about our spiritual journeys, not everybody has a one-time turnaround. Okay, there are people who
Mm-hmm.
have that where immediately they accept Christ, taki inaisha. You get
Mm-hmm.
the kiu ya
Mm-hmm.
pombe inaisha. They are no longer addicts. You get,
Mm-hmm.
but most
Mm-hmm.
of us will
Mm-hmm.
have a process because it took a
Mm-hmm.
process for us to join. Kuna mtu alizaliwa drinking. It's stages that people have gone through. But now the
Mm-hmm.
people who get, I believe in the power of the Holy Spirit. I believe in how Jesus works. He can work wonders. And
Mm-hmm.
I can take you back. You remember this time Jesus healed this guy who was blind. He was brought to him, and he put saliva on his eyes. The first
Alive.
time he didn't
Uh-huh.
see, and then the second time
Uh-huh.
he saw. Not
Mm-hmm.
everything was consequential. Not everything was pap. Some things
Immediate.
take a process. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
some things takes processes, and it depends on what stage you are. If you're still a beginner, we'll just speak to you and pray for you and just empower you, and you'll be okay. Somebody
Mm-hmm.
in compulsive stage, it won't be
Mm-hmm.
as easy. When hakuna kitu ujui about alcohol, and actually when you interact with addicts, there's nothing they don't know about the drug of choice. They know everything. They know even what to cure them. They know how to help themselves. You get,
Mm-hmm.
they're quite
They know
smart
the
people.
challenges.
They know the challenges. They know all the withdrawal symptoms. They actually know what will make them feel better. They actually know everything.
Mm-hmm.
you know yeah. And so what drugs do? They change the brain chemicals. We've been
Mm-hmm.
given something called dopamine to just feel the normal excitement. Tutacheka about pombe si supu na tuache kucheka.
Mm-hmm.
If I had consumed weed, I would laugh until now you wonder, where am I laughing? Because now it prolongs the high effect. Sawa
You are
sawa.
more
Our brain
excited.
naturally. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Julius. Julius, Jules.
Yeah.
What
Hello.
happens?
Uh-huh.
Hey. What happens is dopamine helps us feel the natural okay, the natural high, the natural happiness,
Excitement.
the natural excitement, you know. But now what drugs do, they prolong that excitement. That's what unajua
Mm-hmm.
mseto akatu zone as it's normally known. You'll just be
They're
on
just
zone for the
happy.
longest time. And because you want to extend it. You want to extend the happiness. Nisahau shida kidogo. Nisahau stress kidogo. And let me
Mm-hmm.
enjoy this high. Let me enjoy this excitement that I'm having. Okay. And
So that's why you see,
the,
if somebody is stressed or somebody has some situation they're
what
dealing with, does that mean they're prone to getting into drugs?
pardon, I can't hear you.
I'm saying if somebody is handling a difficult situation, uh,
Yeah,
and probably they are
you're more
just
prone
starting
to.
out
Mm-hmm. You're
on
more prone
drugs.
to it if that's the quick fix for you. You get, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so the continuous altering of these brain chemicals, the continuous altering, the brain enjoys the thrill. You know the way itaanza kuzoea sasa. Hii ya kawaida is boring. You know it's
Okay.
dull. Even the
Mm-hmm.
brain enjoys the high. You get.
Mm-hmm.
This is getting so dull. So how can
Mm-hmm.
I excite myself? You'll
Mm-hmm.
continue craving for the alcohol. You'll continue craving for the weed. You'll continue craving for the heroin. You'll continue craving for the drug of choice, or even the practice of choice. Because addiction is just not on drugs
Drugs.
also on
Mm-hmm.
process. It can be masturbation. It can be gambling. There'll be that thrill that will continuously drive you towards it. Okay. And
So what you're saying is that when I
mhm,
look at probably my cousin who is into alcohol, I should not just
mhm,
see him as a normal person. There's something about their brain that is altered.
yeah, yes, they have an altered chemical structure right now. It's not
Mm-hmm.
operating as normal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
now the continuous altering, the more you
Mm-hmm.
consume it, the more you consume it over ages. Now it can bring something we call comorbid cases, where now you'll not only be having substance abuse, you also have mental disabilities. You can have bipolar, depression, anxiety, name it. Now you'll be
Okay.
more prone to mental disorders.
Mm-hmm.
You get? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you've completely altered your brain. Now your brain can't function just normally on its own.
Wow.
Or even the form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get. And
Okay.
yes,
I
sorry
hear
for
you.
the
We hear you.
blackout
We hear
people.
you.
Yes.
You have become
So
dark.
it became darker. There was light. Yeah. And it's interesting understanding about addiction, but there is treatment out there, there's help out there, but what can you do to help your cousin? What can you do to help a brother? What can you do to help somebody who's, who loves you,
Yeah.
who you
Please
love?
help us
Yeah.
understand. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Number one, be present.
Be present.
Be present, completely present to this person.
Mm-hmm.
Seek an understanding of the person. You may not understand what they're going through because
Mm-hmm.
over the years of practicing addiction counseling, alcohol or drugs are just the predisposing conditions. There is something underlying. There's self-esteem,
Mm-hmm.
there's heart, there's somebody who was abused, who was physically abused, and there's something that's just numbing
Mm-hmm.
the pain completely. Yeah,
Wow.
there's
Uh-huh.
uh, any kind of addiction is just, it's called what is presenting problems, but there's the
Mm-hmm.
underlying problems. So
Mm-hmm.
just be a listening ear to this person. Be present to this person. It may be your father. It may be somebody very significant to you. For the first presence, that they are aware, this journey I'm not alone. Not that you continuously funding them to buy the drugs, to buy the alcohol. No, be present.
They called
Just
enablers.
No, don't be an enabler. Oh no, don't. I'm not encouraging enabling in any case. What I'm encouraging is for you to be present. Let them know they're not alone. Let them know they're still loved. Because there's that, unajua nimechoma sana. How can I get back? How can I dust myself and walk this journey again? Kuna watu wameuza vitu za familia, shamba za familia, you've hurt your people, you've stolen from them. Umechoma sana, how am I coming back? The guys who are from very wealthy families, ni vile amechoma sana, heri akae kwa street. When you get to know by this person, unafikiria, okay, unaishi huku. When ni mtoto wa so and so. But it's because of that guilt and shame. And this is what the devil uses. He uses the guilt and shame to hold you back. He uses the secret sin to hold you back from you seeking help. Because the devil rejoices when his kingdom is expanding. And he really hates it when the kingdom of heaven is expanding, when people are getting help, when people are getting solutions to all these things. So basically, be present and be present through the journey. Don't be discouraged that you be present consistently, emotionally, physically. Usikwe tu hapo tu like unapenda tu kumsikiza. Be there emotionally present, be physically present, be mentally present. Challenge them when they need to be challenged, but challenge with wisdom. You may challenge so much. Wei pombe unaonangaje? If you can play sasa, they block you. So you may not have any impact to the person. The cure of addiction is something. Yes.
Tell us a little about. I know I have had an experience where I think a person very close to me, a cousin of mine, is addicted to alcohol. So once in a while, he will really want to seek attention. So he will either pretend he's sick or he's in so much pain, and it's 3 a.m. at night, and then he will call each one of you. Yeah, what's that about?
Obviously, everything I'm doing and anything I'm doing is for me to get that pleasure. It's for me to get that high. Remember, I've used alcohol so much, I can't even hold a job. Ninapata hii job ka nimeacha, nipata hii job ka nimeacha. My families are not even stable. If I'm a married man, if I'm a married woman, imagine tu mimi ninakunywa, I have kids, mimi ile pesa napewa maybe ya ku buy food ama any salary, any money that comes my way. Any item, even my phone, naona hii ni chupa ngapi ya vodo. You get? Yeah? Like anything and everything moves towards and leans towards what? You getting the high. So nikishajua kuna loophole. Nita-call Esther, nita-call Karo, na wote ni wakoroge na story moja. The only way to get through all of them is to always speak as one voice. Because now watajua venye kuwa handle, venye na kuhandle si venye na handle sistake, si venye na handle madhe, si venye na handle watu wa majuu. And most of the time we have been enablers for such a long time that we have no idea where will I cut the cord? Where will I cut this cord for support? The only way as a family now, if the family is aware that there's this addiction or there's this problem now, as you said, your cousin who's addicted to alcohol, is you speak as one voice. Uko wapi tukukujie? Avoid giving monetary value. Don't give money. Kama in a help. If you're able, try. At times, allow them to suffer through the consequences. Wacha apigwe na baridi kidogo. But ukumbuke akipata TB, akipata pneumonia, bado nyinyi ndo mtaraise funds za kumpeleka wapi? You get it? Yeah.
Very true.
It's a balance. It's a balance.
You have to
about... come. Yeah. It's such a balance. Sorry. It's such a balance. Like you have, if it's a family member that all of us want to, talk to, minister to, speak to, there are very specific steps you can do. Call the person. tell them we are aware of this. Okay, you may not see
So
it's a problem, but because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we are seeing this problem. Okay,
so
we are
you're
willing to
telling
work
us,
with you.
what you're telling us right now is, for example, we have just thought that our friend or our cousin or our whoever is addicted. So how do we go about helping them? Is
How
that
we go about help? Inform them that you know of the
so
abuse.
that is step one.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that just tell them tunajua, we are aware of this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, what steps? Give them options and just give them the will to decide. Give them the will to make a decision for themselves. Because at times when you force it, mtu force in the madhare because it's cheaper for you guys, you want help for me, but did you hear my voice? Find the person who's most trusting in the whole family. There's that one person that they trust most. There's that one person they can open up to most. Okay, find that person to keep on, mkikuja tu kirende tu mnakuja kuniattack, ni hivi, and I'll just block, I'll run away from home, I'll leave you there. Nyi mwendele kujipanga na interventions zenyu. So you really need to be smart knowing your person, because you're the person who knows them better than an outsider. Okay. So that close person, that one person that is easily, they can easily reach out to this person, that one person who can, easily get to know the person. It can also be somebody who's been through addiction, has suffered the consequences, has recovered. That's a better person to also talk. So nakumbuka mimi nilikuwa hivi, si tulikuwa tunashikisha pamoja, cheki mimi sasa niko sawa. Okay. So it's coming so strategically and very smart. Remember, as I've told you, people who are in addiction are very smart. Si mafala. Mtu hawezi kuwa sustain a habit for 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, ukifikiriana brain. They'll know how to, get their way out. Okay. As a family, I'll also seek research. Just research and research more about this thing. Get to know what alcohol is. Unajua kuna wenye hata wanadhaningi tu pombe ni zile za chupa. But if you don't, just do thorough research on what is it. If it's a facility that you want to propose, research about that particular facility, just as your own. Exactly, before you present it to the person. Okay. As a family, discover the roles all of you play. Who is the enabler? Who is the scapegoat? Who is the, who's the person who just is oblivious of all these things? Who's the person who's taken the whole burden? Mostly, sometimes it's mom. So let me just assume an ideal family of the father is the addict. The mom now has become now the source of everything in this house. Yeah. Now the children now are almost following dad. You get. So you can imagine now the roles everybody is taking. Some of the children will they don't even to be associated. Wanangoja tu ile venye tu natoka na niondoke mbaki na shida
kabisa.
Yeah. Kuna mwenye sasa atataka tu to still keep face of the family as much as we are out. Let me keep face of the family. Lakini I'm suffering inside. This is my father. This is somebody who I look towards. But it's my mom who's washing clothes, doing all these things for us to have food on our table.
My mom who has to think about every source of income.
Yes.
So let me try to rephrase what you've said. You've said we have, as a family, we have realized that so and so is an addict. So the first step is to tell them, we know that you're going through this. We realize that you are addicted. And the second step is to present them with options. What do you want to do because of this? So probably there are several rehab places that we can think about. We have this and this and this. What is the way forward for you? And having this conversation, most likely with the person that they trust most. And then number 3 is as the family also identify what role you are playing. Probably you are the enabler, you're the person who keeps giving them money. Probably you're the one who covers up for them. What else did you say?
Or you're also benefiting from the addiction itself.
How?
Yeah. I again, I
How can
find
you
it as
benefit?
a shocker. You know, this is the only, where you being out drinking is the only time I can do my chamas. I can do everything zenye upendangi nikifanya. Me being maybe
Okay.
in Kenya, mimi ndo nina support huyu mtu, so I'll always be sent for the funds. Mimi ndio nishi.
Okay.
You get, there are people who
Okay.
still benefit from your addiction.
Wow.
You get, yes,
Sad.
yes.
Uh-huh.
Sadly,
Okay.
yeah. And so what happens in treatment? Do we just
Mm-hmm.
bring this person, dump them in a rehabilitation and leave them to God? Or take them to a pastor and leave them to be prayed for and cast out demons? Utajaribu everything to try and help your person. Utaenda kwa
True.
pastor, whichever way. But in a basic,
Utaomba.
umtaomba, you'll pray and fast, you'll go to Katoloni for a whole week. And maybe this demon is not being chased. This alcoholism is not being chased away. What can we do?
Mm-hmm.
There's the option of a rehabilitation center.
Mm-hmm.
There's the option of, rehabilitation does not mean you have to be a resident. There's inpatient, kawaida tu,
Mm-hmm.
ama outpatient.
Mm-hmm.
The government has tried, especially with the guys who have been abusing heroin. There's the
Mm-hmm.
methadone program. It's a
Mm-hmm.
synthetic, it's synthesized in the same chemical structure as heroin, but now has less effects. Okay, and they try, kuna hizi support groups, as you've had AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous. These are just support groups, people who have been in addiction, having somebody who's just, helping them walk through it. Because
Mm-hmm.
addiction and recovery is such a journey where it's just not one person handling you. It's not like at a counseling session penye niko mimi na my counselor or me and my pastor.
Mm-hmm.
For
Mm-hmm.
addiction, it's a team of experts.
Okay.
A team of experts. Your counselor, there'll be a nurse, there'll be a doctor, there'll be your peers
Wow.
who will help, and there's family also. People who will help
Mm-hmm.
you walk out through out of the addiction. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you have your nurse, depending on how far you had reached, how much you had consumed. There's some who really need detoxification. Okay.
Okay.
Lazima, yes. And we call this detoxification a very human way of surviving through withdrawals. The withdrawals are quite severe, depending on how adverse and how much
Mm-hmm.
you had consumed it. There's
Mm-hmm.
some, you just can't always end up to something we call cold turkey. Go through the withdrawals, learn the consequences of the withdrawals, and then make a decision to change. Depending on the level of the person, you might even kill the person, because some
Wow.
withdrawal symptoms are quite severe, very severe. Alcohol, kwanza, if if you get a place where now your liver is dead and gone, it's eaten you up from within.
Mm-hmm.
This is somebody you did at least better to vitamins, to minerals that they've kept on losing. Eating food is now a luxury. It's not it's no longer a need. It becomes,
Mm-hmm.
it's a third. It's not something you continuously think about. It's
Mm-hmm.
after nime consume, maybe kale
Mm-hmm.
kadogo, I'll just survive on tea and bread, tea and
Mm-hmm.
mandazi. Let me
Wow.
have my shots of heroin worth even
Mm-hmm.
10,000. Let me have,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Wow.
niko na 10k lakini naweza tumia a whole of the 10k in my consuming heroin, but
Mm-hmm.
naweza tumia 10 bob kunywa chai ya kobole na mandazi ya kobole na mogi, even
Wow.
for 2 days, 3 days. Yeah. And detoxification helps just remove the toxins from your body safely. It can take from 3 days to 14 days. Again,
Wow.
depending on how much you abused it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Something else that happens in a rehabilitation, there's something called assessment. How long have you
Mm-hmm.
been consuming this drug? how has it affected you? How are you, how are you coping? How are you living? Where, we just get to know uko wapi, ndo tujue tunaanzia treatment wapi, because it's very individualized. There's no one solution for all treatments. Yes, Jesus is the solution. Kuna wenye wako na underlying problems, because hata tukienda discipleship, we grow through different stages. I may be struggling with forgiving, you may be struggling with anger. You get? Same thing. Everybody has a custom-made way of treatment, because it's not one solution for everybody. Okay? So you get to know, kuna mwenye tu sasa, unajua venye maybe ulikunywa the first time, ulikeyo, mtu ali-black out, his family got scared, threw you into rehabilitation. Maybe the second time or the third time. You won't expect me to use the same kind of treatment to somebody who's been a chronic abuser. You get? Huyu tu is like, educating the person, empowering the person, and letting them be more self-aware and more assertive in what they're doing and making better decisions. Yeah, and making better decisions with their lives. Okay. And rehabilitation, depending, takes from kuna zingine za 10 days, 1 week, to a whole year. Teen Challenge takes a whole year, a whole 12 months. Because one thing we believe, it took time for you to get addicted. It also takes time for you to emerge.
Get out of the addiction.
Yeah, to just get out of the addiction. It'll take time. Because these are habits that you learned. You'll need to unlearn and relearn new behavior. And
so let me try to paraphrase what you're saying. But before I do that, we only have 3 minutes to the end of this session. So in a short while, Instagram just gives us 1 hour, but we will be back. So yes, kindly feel free to invite your friends. We are talking about drug and drug addiction with Zippy. Zippy is a counseling psychologist who is passionate about helping people to overcome addiction. Yeah. And today specifically, as I said, we are talking about drug and drug addiction and alcohol addiction. She told me to keep adding alcohol. So yes, I'm trying to remember. So yes, we will be back when, if you notice the session has ended, kindly just give us like 2 minutes, then we will be back. So yes, we were talking about treatment, and Zippy was sharing that when you go to a rehab, that the treatment given to a person is very individualized, such that if somebody has been, it depends really, it depends on where they have been, at what stage of addiction they are, or consumption of drugs they are. Yeah, so that some have to go through detoxification. Yeah, it depends really on where a person is at. Zippy, you can continue telling us about treatment.
Yes, and as I said, it's not one person who does it, and what does a rehab help with? It helps you, number one, isolation from the drug. You're in a separate place, secluded, without your drug of choice. And then we restructure your living, because once in addiction, you guys live such an unstructured life. I'll do things as I please. I'll wake up when I want. I'll go drink. I live in the bar. Just bringing structure in your life. Basic routine, and just reprogramming, helping your mind to come back slowly. We encourage peer leadership. Once we see the guys who've gone through, who are higher, who are more months in the program, and you can see positive change. Yeah, you encourage them into helping these other guys who've just come in. I'm so green, I don't know if I'm ready to change or I'm not. Just encouraging them through it. And also role modeling good behavior, problem solving skills. I was such a quick temper. So how can I negotiate and calm down, breathing exercises? These are things now will be modeled, because amtakosa kuvurugana. Even among staff who are working there, amtakosa fighting, but how you handle it, how you break it down slowly. how do you achieve it? So these are things that you're continuously monitored by